Good morning. Who's ever out there? Happy to see you. Let me know if you're there and if you can hear me. Hola, aloha from Hawaii. Hiya, Ann. Nice to see you. Bright and early in Hawaii. All right, let's see. Come here, Casper. Casper, come here. Come here. Okay. Oh, okay. Good boy, Mom. Oh, my goodness. What you got there, Casper? What do you got? You got a bone? What you got, bone or a piece of pumice or what you got? What you got? Can everybody hear me okay? Yes. Yay. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. 8:29. There's the Casper boy. He's a good boy. We went away for a couple days last week and he had some separation anxiety. Ate a lot of pillows. Yes, he's growing up very fast. Very fast. And the mountain dog, I don't know if you can see him down here. He's down here right next to him. Got the two retrievers. Here we go. Good morning, everybody. Good to see you this morning. Let me know where you are. Hi from all over. There's family coming in. Hi, gang. Where are you? Oh, we just lost Casper. We just had him on camera. There we go. We'll get him one more. Casper, you going to come back here? Casper. Good morning, good morning. All righty. We're about to get rolling here. Casper, come here. One more time. Say hi to everybody. Here we got the coffee. Here's the coffee. From North Carolina. Welcome, welcome. Here we go. We got Hawaii. Oh, what happened? Did I get you? What happened? Oh, let's see. Everybody wants to see you. Oh. Look at that. There goes the whole thing. All right. Well, that's a fun way to start. Good morning, everybody. Just had a little paper dump here. I got to find my stick. There we go. Well, now that we're all here, everybody likes to see Casper, and then he's a big boy. All right, everybody, let's take a deep breath. Maybe one more time. Then allow that breath to go up into your heart. Ola from New Hampshire. Where else are we coming in from? Hi, everybody. Nice to see you this morning. So we're just working in the midst of all of this interesting news and things not changing as fast as we would like. We're working on understanding what's happening, and therefore, because we're working on understanding, we can then work on practicing. We can work on practicing peace and joy and harmony and gratitude. We have to get to those places because the situation will change and evolve as it evolves. So I wanted to talk to you about a couple wonderful ideas. Some of you who have been with me for these many years know that we often talk about the upward-forward spiral of the evolution of life, the upward-forward spiral. And so what we look at here is this is a slinky, but as you can see, it's spiraling. It spirals up, and so there's a difference between this level here and this level here. Now, if we were to take this slinky and put 4 corners on it, almost like marking a compass, and we were to say health and wealth and love and purpose, we could see that they would be at different places. So if I'm dealing with an issue that happened to me several years ago, for example, I could say, well, I had a health issue several years ago, and now I'm having another health issue, and go, oh no, I'm back here again. But no, you're not back there. You're up at a higher level dealing with the speed bump in your own evolution where something shows up that you're still working on getting through. And this upward-forward spiral of life is expanding up and out, and every time we go around, we're growing and we're changing and we're perceiving at a greater level than we ever had before. And that's what's happening now. Now, in the outer realm of life, in that same circle where we could have health, wealth, love, and purpose, we also see society. And society has all kinds of things. They have education, we have medicine, we have governance, we have infrastructure, and those are also spiraling upwards, and sometimes that which no longer serves is changing form. And then when we see that change, that's one of the things we react to. The wonderful Terry Cole Whitaker so many years ago said, you know, what we have learned scientifically is that the only thing consistent in life is change. And yet the only thing that we resist so fully and completely is change, yes? And so what we need to know, and I love that line, you know, change is inevitable, growth is optional. So fighting change does no good at all, and we need to surrender to it and to look within, to call forth, ask, seek, and knock, to call forth that which we desire, that which we are intending, and to clarify that which we are intending and calling forth all of the time to ourselves, so that we're part of the race, but we don't have to choose the same separations that the race changes. All humanity is in this together. All humanity is in this upward, forward spiral of evolution. All humanity are born in the image of the fullness of the glory of life, and each one must arrive in conscious awareness to that place where we're dialoguing, as we talked about last week, with our high self and calling forth the best and the deepest and the richest part of life. Khalil Gibran, in his essay upon children, beautiful little essay, he has this wonderful line. He says, life goes not backward, nor tarries with yesterday. It's an interesting word, tarries. To tarry is a verb, and what it means is to stay longer than intended. I am tarrying. I'm delaying leaving a place. Yeah, that's that change that happens. We don't want to change, so we delay and we hold on, and that creates resistance, and that resistance shows up in every facet of our lives. And what we are wanting to bring forth is the greater ease, the greater joy, the greater love. We want to bring forth the magic and the light and the joy of living. Now, what's happening in our time right now, and I've been around long enough to know this, in the 1960s, we dealt with the younger generation making a statement about who they were and what they thought life was, and that statement was something called Woodstock, yeah? And in Woodstock, a call for a deeper level of peace, a call for a deeper level of communication, a call for an intergenerational coming together came out into the world. And then soon after that, we had the wonderful civil rights movement and all the progress that was made primarily through Dr. Martin Luther King's call that we should long for the day when we judge people by the quality of their character and not the color of their skin. And that idea, seeded back in the 1960s, and then followed by tremendous trauma, moved into the world in a way that had never moved before. And laws were changed, and things were made clearer in terms of equal rights and justice for all people. Now, obviously, since then, we have a long way to go. And now we're up the spiral, almost in the exact same zone. We have an intergenerational challenge that the young people are not understanding their role in cooperating with defeating the virus and coming up with moving to the other side of the virus. And so we see, well, in the 1960s, on this spiral down here, these issues of intergenerational understanding and civil rights came up in a big way. And now we are up further on the spiral in the same place, in the same speed bump, because we have not cleared the way. We have not embodied life, liberty, equality, and justice for all yet. We have placed the laws, but the spirit of the law is not in the hearts of all people. And then we see this big shift causing us to celebrate that Black Lives Matter, causing us to begin to realize that all are one and everyone's connected and everybody belongs in the one. And there is a power, there is a transcendent power that can heal and can bring this new evolution of intergenerational understanding, intergenerational cooperation, intergenerational love and mutual respect for each other, as we also at the same time see that that intergenerational reality needs to be across all colors and ways of being and all shapes and forms of life, that we begin to rise up to the soul level, which is the way the universe really has it, that all things are created in the image and likeness of the one. All things are governed by the law of love, the law of harmony, and the law of the circle. And the law of the circle is what goes about comes about, what I think about comes about, where my consciousness is becomes my experience. That's the law of the circle. Whatever's happening inside is going to come into the outside, and that will change the inside, and it'll go round and round and round again. And so what we're looking for is an understanding that this transcendent power that breaks down these barriers is the power of spiritual love, of high spiritual love, that comes from this part of me that is capable of loving unconditionally. Unconditional love is given freely, without demands, without expectations, and without seeking anything in return. I do not love you in order to get something back. I love you because it is my nature as a spiritual being to love. It is my nature as a spiritual being to love as light, and light has no separations. It does not divide itself in race, color, creed, ways of being, or any other way. High spiritual love is the energy and the power and the awareness that can bring peace to ourselves, that can allow us to be an active force in transmuting the world, changing the forms of the world, changing the ways of being that the race begins to participate in. Remember, you and I'm talking to, here gathered are birds of a feather, birds vibrating at a certain level, like a radio station. You and I have become aware of the oneness of all life. And out of that awareness of the oneness of all life, we've come to a place of an appreciation for the great gift of life. We've come to an understanding that life is immortal, that I am more than my body, I am more than my experience, I am more than my mind, I am an immortal spiritual being, and we're beginning to bring that awareness into our world, and to then use that awareness by consciously becoming a place of magical and joyful light. And we bring this light without demands, without expectations, without seeking anything in between. But the reality is that that light, that understanding, is transformative to us. That light, that understanding is how we can bring peace on earth and joy to the world. And yes, it's not a new idea. It's been happening for a long, long time. I'm going to have to move us for a second. Hang with me. I see a door got opened, and there is a cat wandering around that doesn't need to be outside where the wild animals are outside. Come on, kitty cat, come on. I was wondering how you guys got in. This is China. Sorry about that. This is China Cat, and she got out, so we have to put her back. So I hope I'm not losing you, and I apologize for that. But, you know, life has its little ways, and these animals have opened the doors, and they are... Casper, come here. All right. Life goes on. And so we're getting to the point where we understand that I have a place, I have an opportunity to use my awareness in a way that helps ease the tensions of the world. In this outer reality that we are talking about, in this outer reality, the forms of things are changing, yes? We have structures that need adjusting. Everything from governments to policing to politics, it doesn't matter. They're all things in the world that are changing. And we all have to hold that we may have a point of view about which way it should change or how it should change, but it's going to change to the highest and best of everybody, so long as we, as the light workers in the world, begin engaging at this level of high spiritual love. That's ours to do. High spiritual love. So I send my love out to you, just as you are now, and just as you have always been, releasing the demands and expectations that would block my love. Each one of us has to become a place where high spiritual love is happening through us and beyond us. I was in the market the other day with my mask on, and I couldn't tell. I came to the cashier's line and he came to the cashier's line pretty much at the same time. I wasn't in a hurry, but I thought I was there first, and so I looked at the gentleman and I smiled. Of course, with the mask on, he couldn't see that I smiled, so I said, "I'm smiling behind the mask." And he said to me, "I am also smiling behind the mask." He said, "I guess we're going to have to learn how to smile through our eyes. I guess we're going to have to learn how to smile through our eyes." Isn't that wonderful? How to be a place where coming from us is this transcendent energy of high spiritual love that honors you. It's the namaste in every human being. The spirit of the best within me, the highest and most loving within me, honors the spirit of the highest and the most loving within you. Yes? And each one, everyone, across all religious denominations, across all points of view, everyone has this capacity to live in this place of high spiritual love, unconditional love, given freely without expecting anything in return. And the more we practice that high spiritual love, the more presence we will have in the world, and the more healing, the return to wholeness, the return to mutual respect, the return to mutual understanding. All of that will happen as we practice being a place where that namaste spirit, that high spiritual love, is flowing from me to the best of my ability every day. Now, in order to do that, we are going to have to create practices that separate us from the fears in the world. There are a lot of fears in the world. Have you noticed? As you know, I try to stay informed, and I read newspapers, and boy, oh boy, on both coasts, the news is challenging, and we need to transcend that. We need to be deeper than that. We need to go beyond that, understanding that we are part of the race, but we do not have to participate in the lower vibrations of the race. We can be the place where we're lighting a candle in the world, where we're bringing this magical, joyful light, expecting the good, expecting the wonder of life, even in the midst of some of these infrastructures changing all around us. Institutions that need adjusting all across. Medical science needs to figure out how to integrate itself to help people be whole and complete and healthy. And we need to have a way to reach everybody with that knowledge. We need to change education so that everybody understands the equality of all life, and that we can look at different cultures and honor them and appreciate them, just like we look at flowers in the garden that are different, and honor and appreciate them. And allow all of this to come into the world as the God or the universe or energy actually has it. Because clearly the universe loves the colors of the universe. It loves the diversity of its creation. It loves its infinite capability to be all in all of the various forms and be the place of love in the midst of all of it. All things are speaking, all things are vibrating, all things belong, yes? And we are the place where we can bring that love, that joy, that wisdom, that peace into the world by means of practicing our joy, practicing our gratitude, paying attention to the magic that's happening through spiritual law, this law of circulation. What I'm putting out is coming back to me. And if I'm putting out more and more joy and more love and more compassion and more caring and more willingness to let go of that egotistical shell around myself to allow it to soften, then the more of this magic and joy and light will come into our world, and the more that we can help these forms transform or transmute, be changed in a more harmonious manner. We've had enough violence, enough upset, enough worry in the world. It's time now to bring forth this greater degree of livingness, this greater degree of harmony, this greater degree of connecting. So let's take a breath all together. We take another deep breath. Here we go. We're bringing the chime in. Magical and joyful light. I am a place where the magical and joyful light of the Spirit of the One dances in me and as me and through me, and touches and heals and uplifts. I am loving all of life free. You are the light workers in the world. Spread this word. Share it everywhere you can get it to go, on Facebook or any other medium that you can get it to, if you know it will bring you beneficial. Hi from Uganda. Welcome to all of you. Thanks for tuning in from all over the country and all over the planet. You are the light unto the world. I honor you. I appreciate you. Casper looks at the world and he says, today is the best day ever. Let today, in the midst of the transformation, in the midst of the healing, in the midst of the confusion, rise up as magical and joyful in your life and share that with the world. And that way, you're making a difference. It's my honor and privilege to be with you today. I will be back here next Tuesday, 8:30 a.m. Pacific Daylight Time. Spread the word about Coffee with Casper. I'll look forward to being with you next week. Play this everywhere you know it will do some good, and share your great light into the world. I love you, I bless you, and I'll see you next week on Coffee with Casper. Bye for now.